She doesn't touch anything. She doesn't know anything. I do everything. And I rub her feet at night, and I suck her toes, and I tell her I love her, and that's the blue pill. It's super
lying,
extreming. I'm gonna tell you what happened. A lot of these fake blue pillars who were pandering to get the women who are the #1 consumers in the world to buy into different courses and products and to just keep on selling, and then they get exposed that they're the narcissist.
Oh, like that, what's his name?
They're the asshole.
Dark-skinned guy.
Oh, he was married.
Yeah, so like, look,
I know you're talking about.
those blue pillars,
Yeah.
they're not all
Like
real.
that. I think that's like a perfect example.
Yeah, so
It is, because they weren't creating associations to take down Derek Jackson. And I mean, shit, if you look at Derek Jackson's audience now in comparison to going through a firestorm where he built an entire career on shitting on men while never holding women accountable, and you look at his platforms today, not on YouTube, but all else, it's like the guy is still walking on water, baby. Oh, we about to have a fantastic, healthy conversation here today. Shout out to the folks over at 8 at the Table. They recently uploaded a video of the men and the women going back and forth in regards to red pill. What does it mean? What is the definition? What is its value? And how is it currently being interpreted within society today? And I find these conversations fascinating because somewhere along the line, the message got twisted, and what was once a tool utilized to wake men up to not only just female nature, but I've always said it's male nature as well, is now being turned into a label to insult those that listen to the content. So let's give this as an opportunity to break it down, see if they actually have any good points, and get active. Without further ado, they start this kind of odd, but the brother is about to explain what it means to be a blue pill man. Let's go.
my girl doesn't even touch a car door. She doesn't touch a entrance exit door.
A bill.
A bill. She doesn't touch anything. She doesn't know anything. I do everything. And I rub her feet at night, and I suck her toes, and I tell her I love her, and that's the blue pill. It's super
lying,
extreming, right? Now a red pill is gonna be
I don't agree with his definition, by the way, but let's keep listening.
more so like, what are you doing for me?
Man, that bitch been over her own though.
Which is also extreme. Like, you either like the girl or you don't. And behind closed doors, you're probably doing shit that you're not even gonna say as a red pill dude. I can't tell nobody.
Very
but
true.
Then you come on the podcast or you on a microphone and be like, oh, I never opened the door. Like, y'all niggas sound stupid.
Here we
But
go.
it's both.
Very true.
But it's
All right.
both though.
It's cool.
Because there's blue pills that are doing the same thing.
No, but you can do
What
a
do you
lot
mean?
of things in life.
They're
that
doing-
can
yeah,
say,
they're doing the
can
same
say
life.
this is very red pill of me. This is very blue pill of me.
What?
Like your whole life.
doing
and your,
none of that.
I know, and no one is, honestly.
Hey,
But you gotta
I'm about to be 45 years old in 16, 15 days. I don't believe no goddamn pill. If you like a girl, you like a girl.
You gonna do?
And you're going to do what you're going to do, what you're going to do.
do
And if
what
you
it
need a
do.
bunch of niggas to follow, right? And buy into a fucking some type of stupid ass cult, red or blue,
This is so
something is wrong with you.
unhinged.
Why don't you just lead your own pack of yourself? I don't know if that's red or blue pill talk or purple,
Yeah.
whatever. Just be a dude.
It's
Just
actually
be,
red.
Just be a dude.
We got to go back a quick second because I love talking to brothers like this in reality, because oftentimes when you appropriately or accurately define something, what you find is that they are less likely to strawman your argument and create in their minds what they feel is happening as opposed to what is objectively happening. Just like I said in the introduction, RP is the understanding of nature. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. at least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now. And when you try to understand anything within life, the goal of that is to increase your accuracy. We can all say and know as men is that there's certain behaviors, certain actions, certain ways to move that will increase your chances of accuracy of getting the type of woman that you want, or the results. Matter of fact, accuracy is not the term, it's results. There's certain things that you do in order to increase your results as a man. The problem is that society has led men down this odd corridor of how it is that a real man is defined, or the actions that a real man needs to take in order to get a woman. And a lot of this messaging has been co-opted by mainstream media that is trying to sell these women products. So of course they're going to appeal to the women's ears, or feminist organizations trying to propagate that we are both genders are made the same when we are biologically firing differently, or political organizations trying to sway a vote, or news and media outlets trying to propagate whole. With all of this information hitting our eyes, there's a lot of men out there that are utterly confused, and they are more than willing to accept women with bad behavior that dress like they for the streets. They are not good at identifying toxic behavior and removing themselves from it, or responding to situations as opposed to reacting. And that is within a community of men that are mostly being raised by single mothers. There's always going to be extremes on both sides of the spectrum, but just completely dismissing an entire message because of those extremes is just simply wrong. The red pill in itself, at its core, was never about division or hate. It's always been about awareness, allowing men to see the truths about human biology, dating, and relationships, as well as society, and an environment that allows them to walk around with rose-colored glasses. The analogy that I can use here is the results of fishermen. If you're going to go fish somewhere, are you not going to research the type of fish, the type of bait that is most likely to get you the best results? Are you not going to research the type of boat that you might need, or the size of the boat that you might need? You're getting mad at the fishermen for investigating the resources to improve their results. Rudimentary analogy, I know, but I think it works. Let's go.
That is the real red.
Well, let's
do what the fuck you gonna do, and be who you are. Be cool how you be cool.
But then you need another dude to back you because it becomes supportive.
No, you don't necessarily need a dude to back you. No Diddy. First of all, that's crowd crazy. Pause, Rome. But you don't need. See,
When nobody even going there.
Like you start the purple shit. Like it just gets confused. No. What I'm saying is that was the main essence. Do what the fuck you're gonna do and be who you are. Now the problem that happens is we have a lot of people, and it's not just a color thing. It's literally a reassurance thing, because 99% of all people are fucking insecure, right? So I don't give a fuck if you're red or you're blue. You're 9 times out of 10 insecure about a lot of shit, especially if you're 22, 24, 18, even 30, 32, right?
Oh,
And
18.
higher. And
18,
keep going.
you think you doing some shit. I don't
Now,
know.
you got to remember, so a lot of the things that they do say, when you asked before, is that a new generation thing? I'm going to tell you yes. And a lot of red pill will say it's because you see the influx of men being raised without men in their household, right? So they're raised with a lot of women, so they have a lot of feminine characteristics.
Right.
Okay.
They have a lot of feminine ways and ideologies and their behaviors. So that was kind of the separation, because you have men who's grown up with brothers and their fathers and their uncles.
So like boomers, or is that what you're like? Is that like the
It
cutoff?
could be a boomer. I don't want to say it's actual cutoff, because there's men that have that today.
Well, we know that. I'm talking about generalizations. Like,
Yes. So yes.
Okay.
So let's just say that, right? We'll go with the boomers, where you have these men who grow up with a mixed household, right? Men and women, figures and role models. Now you have, nowadays, with all of the shit that's happened over the last 30, 40 years, you have a lot of men growing up with predominantly or maybe only women households. So now they act, conduct, believe, and they have the behaviors that actually embody a lot of
mimics,
women
yeah, I agree.
characteristics.
He's right with that last point. Long story short, there's many young boys that are growing up without a consistent, stable masculine influence. And that absence creates a void. And with that void, where are they going to look? And with the internet, it's become so much more easy. Let's say you get stood up from a date that a chick that you really, really, really like. And then you go up to Google and say, why am I getting stood up constantly from these different chicks? And then here goes my face that pops up. Many of these men just come looking for advice, a perspective on an environment that the world has never seen before. With the dating apps, the social medias, so it's not created as a movement to hate women. It was created out of a necessity to men to more formally understand how to increase their results and also decrease their risk. When we go over court cases in the family court system, that should be blatantly obvious. When we take a look at the divorce rate and see how much more women initiate divorce than men, and none of this information is available in education or textbooks. They're not doing gender studies classes and they're focusing on the betterment or the improvement of men as they do with women. Men have been looking for direction, discipline, and identity in a world that stopped teaching them how to be men.
So those were initially the blue pills, right? Those were initially the blue pills.
Okay.
But then you had the entertainers who did this for money, who then
Which ones are those?
Huh?
you had the ones that had the podcast like Fresh and them that would have a bunch of girls on the thing.
Wait,
that
so
they knew
you're saying you're entertainers. Does that mean that you believe that they don't believe what they're putting out there?
I think that I wholeheartedly believe they believe what they put out there, but they're not what they put out. Right? Like people used to comment on their shit when they first came out. Fresh and Fit think that they're Rico. Right?
Really?
Yes. They used to comment that when they first came out because I am somebody who lives the life that I speak of.
Oh, his
on these
name's
pods,
Rico.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie. When I look at them and then I look at you, I'm not gonna lie. They do seem
It's different.
like fake.
Because it's not.
Like it seemed like, and I'm not saying that because I've known you for a while now. It just something about it doesn't seem genuine.
It's forced. It's forced.
Yeah.
But it's money, right? So just like music, right? Music ain't real either nowadays. Most people can't sing or write music, but they're big artists. It's the same thing. So when you have the opportunity to make money, plus you have a belief that you want to align, that doesn't make you it. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing their best to be the it, but they're not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just one last thing. Did it work for them at all as
Yes.
far as like with women?
I
think money, right?
They make a lot of fucking, and actually, I will say they did.
Probably bag some women.
They did bag some women. They bagged some
Oh my
women.
God. So what are you talking about?
They did bag some women.
So that was probably their point, to be entertaining, to make money, and bag women. Right.
And get into the rooms that they never would be able to get in.
To somebody that was already doing that, that probably looks differently than
That's a good point.
them doing that. They have to produce that.
Yeah.
Right. And some people are that.
See, and I agree.
So essentially, it's either in you or it's on you.
Be your fucking self.
Listen, I'm not here to defend Fresh and Fit because they got their own issues. But let's be real. What they saw was a need. They saw men were struggling to navigate the modern dating market as it exists today, feeling overlooked or misunderstood in a culture that constantly sides with a feminist narrative. And they filled that gap. They did it with in-person conversations, but it gave men an opportunity to feel powerful again. And that's how content creation works. You identify a problem and you provide a solution. And if you can do it on a digital platform, well, then you might then have the ear of the masses. And it don't matter whether or not it's through entertainment, education, just one-on-one car videos or conversations. People watch because it is going to resonate with them. And you can criticize the delivery all that you want, but what you can't fake is the amount of eyes that were looking at their platform. And all those eyes equate to demand. And that demand is a symbolism of what is happening in the world today.
And that's the
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like it's either like, did you put this cloak on or you was born with it? The hairs on your chest.
Yeah.
That's what a cloak is. You know what I'm saying?
But then what happens is this. So this is the problem when it's not in you.
If that's true, then y'all need to criticize all of these female rappers who utilize ultra sexuality in order to get to the bag. Hold the same energy for everybody who identifies that looks like you, that identifies as something, but in actuality, they are not. Or the rappers that promote drug culture, gang culture, and they're not. They're business people. Have the same smoke, have the same energy, but you will not, because in those situations, you don't feel less powerful. Men-centric content that focuses on men identifying who they are, how powerful you are, or how powerful that you can be, that promotes self-discipline, they don't like this because they feel less powerful. So it immediately impacts them. That's why they feel negatively about it.
No Diddy. When it's not, and it's just on you, no Diddy, is
Can't be both.
once
Calm
the
down.
mask gets revealed or the cloak gets taken off, now we see what you really are, who you really are.
But
Lame.
that could still happen if you were a quote unquote red pill.
It could be
because
anybody.
Yep.
You're still going to take a loss.
There's a
So
lot of
why
blue
choose
pill-
a side?
Well, because there's people want to do what works for them.
Yeah, but is it what works for them, or is it their targeted goal, which sounds like the women and the money? According,
Of course, yeah.
all right. So if its targeted goal is the women and money, can you blame the blue pill
Money in the
people
cause.
who were raised by single mothers and everything like that for being more empathetic, more sympathetic, and having a leg up on how to do things differently because they couldn't be macho because, again, they weren't raised that way according to you?
Those men have more respect when you're actually real to that who it is. Like, for example, Oliver would claim the when he was here, he would claim the blue pill or the not the alpha, what's the beta role, right? He would claim it. So you don't get shamed on. I'm gonna tell you what happened. A lot of these fake blue pillars who were pandering to get the women who are the number one consumers in the world to buy into different courses and products and to just keep on selling, and then they get exposed that they're the narcissist.
Oh, like that. What's his
That
name?
they're the
Jax.
asshole.
Dark skinned guy.
Oh, he was married.
Yeah, so like, look,
I know you're
all
talking about.
those blue pillars,
Yeah.
they're not all
like
real.
that. I think that's like a perfect example.
Yeah, so
It is because they weren't creating associations to take down Derek Jackson. And I mean, shit, if you look at Derek Jackson's audience now in comparison to going through a firestorm where he built an entire career on shitting on men while never holding women accountable, and you look at his platforms today, not on YouTube, but all else, it's like the guy is still walking on water, baby. And the thing is that as long as it appeals to their emotions, it makes them feel good, not the results that they are getting. And that is key. It's not about the results. It's the short-term feel good, man. And if you sell products to women, you already a leg up and ahead of the game. Shit, even from like an ad sponsorship perspective, if I did content that was majority women, I'd probably have 10 times as much money than what I do right now. Nevertheless, let's keep it
like,
going.
and that's
Can't think
the
of his
problem
name.
that happens with
short hair.
with the blue and the red is that there's fake red and then there's a lot of fake blue because it's easier to lie to a woman and make money off of them than it is to tell a woman a harsh truth that they're not going to accept and make money off of men. Because a lot of men are scared to be men right now in America.
And I know we're getting to the end of this conversation.
He's right.
But I just want to just open that up a little bit to understand what you mean by like men are afraid of being men in America. Like, what does that mean?
There's a lot
Well,
of
one of the things is that men no longer tell women the truth. They no longer speak up of what it is that they actually feel about something for fear of retribution. Shit, I do the videos on the Road to Brickface Osmond shit. I can look at that shit one time and say, no, something's funny. Something's amiss here. So you have men walking around silenced for fear of retribution.
different personalities that men have, right? And there's some that because of the oppression of women for the however long it has transpired,
Certainly the history of this country.
the history of this country, right? And probably the world, but let's just speak here.
Yeah, this here.
So like a man would be like, I don't feel like a woman is equal to me. He can get chastised and canceled and blackballed out of
He could lose his
brands
job.
and sponsorships and a bunch of different opportunities. All of that shit was like not a thing. So if I'd say there's 3 decades of my 31 years of existence where this is the truth, my truth, right? And societal's truth at that time period that I've brought with me, now I can't even express that without potentially losing my job, my
Everything.
career. So like I can't even be what I really am safely. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Without consequence.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
and the thing is, to his point directly, he's right. Men and women are not equal. We can be equally valued for different things. But if you just say that men and women are not equal, all of a sudden you use a misogynist, chauvinist pig. And there can be no moving or like understanding or critical thought within there. Like we can't just have a conversation about how we are not equal. So you will allow yourself to continue to believe that a biological man should be able to operate in a biological woman's sports, and then that's just it. There's no other conversation outside of that. It's absolutely ridiculous what people were getting expelled off of the internet and then offered their job of shit. I just did content not too long ago of this Victoria Everest chick who levied this fake R-word allegation against this dude. And within all of that, she finally got exposed 6 years later. But the guy who she lied on didn't even want to come out and say it because of the negative stigma attached to his name for even being involved with a woman like that, right? So yes, it's true because the lines have been drawn decades ago through the propagation of feminist bullshit up on the internet and on mainstream media for decades before that. The lines are not one of which men can be truthful or can speak their mind. And it's funny because it just doesn't come from women either, but it also comes from men as well who have been equally tricked, but just don't understand the degree of trickery that they're currently situated in. These are the same men that would disagree with a Kevin Samuels, not because he's listened long form to his content and digested the content, but because all of his homegirls don't like Kevin Samuels. You understand? Let's finish up.
that's the thing. The world evolves around cause and effect. What is it inertia? It's like you push, pull, some shit like that. I don't really remember.
I know that. Word.
Is it inertia? The law of inertia? Something like that.
I can't.
But
I know that word.
this is the thing. There should I don't even understand why anyone would believe that there is a space where they can say and do anything without consequence.
That part.
So, and I'm saying, and I'm saying that because I am a person who it took me a long time to figure out when to shut the fuck up.
You learned?
I'm about to say.
Oh, shit.
Well, no, because yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I know people gonna say whatever, but you don't know my life.
She's come far.
Yeah.
It's not about where you are. It's about how far you've come.
And the thing is that it served me well because sometimes it just makes sense to like not deal with the consequences of actions that you can avoid.
Shut up.
understand what
I
I'm
think I'm getting less intelligent listening. So anyway, let me conclude the conversation because I think that, and shout out again to 8 at the Table. I'll leave a link to this down in the description box down below. Guys, go over there, consume their content. They have fantastic podcast conversations. Some of them I end up like ripping my hair out my head, like listening to like thoughts being displayed in this particular manner. Nevertheless, all right, what I think is very important to understand is that I think that the term red pill, it's been co-opted and, dependent upon the knowledge or the balance within a creator to be able to look at current situations, whether or not they're saying that it's an RP content creator or not, or they're RP adjacent or they're more purple pill. It doesn't even matter. What matters is how are they addressing points and the platforms that they utilize to disseminate the specific points. And there have been those that say things that are just off the wall and people associate that with RP, and then they go up on podcasts like this and they leverage like the most ridiculous talking points and paint that as the picture of what red pill is. And just like I've said on this platform for a long time now, I consider myself RP adjacent because my understanding is understanding human nature. A lot of these content creators, it's female nature and they sprinkle their own things on top of that. And I've always thought, like, if you can't control the brand of a word or a terminology, then why even associate yourself deeply with it? But at the same junction, as you hear it and you've gone through the 2023s and 2024s and even 2025s of hearing things such as red pill is dead, it has been a net positive on society in understanding how it is that we behave. And I've said this years ago, right? I've had videos back in like 2020 that talks about the negatives of overconsumption of red pill ideologies, right, from specific content creators. But I will say this is that The understanding of this information, it was never to be a final destination for people. It's meant to be a doorway, right? It's a doorway towards awareness, discipline, and responsibility. Think about the amount of men that dusted off the Cheetos and got into the gym because they heard some self-discipline, self-improvement guru that identifies with the ideology tell them to stop being frail, to stop being weak, and to go improve themselves, all right? So take what you learn from the space, use it to sharpen yourself, sharpen your brothers around you, and create something that is worthy of respect. Be the man that the younger version of you would look up to, and that younger men around you would look up to. Because at the end of the day, that's what the space was built for. Not for the bitterness, not for the clips, the salacious content, but for brotherhood, understanding, and betterment. Guys, that's been my thoughts in regards to this video. Make sure, you send this video out to whoever it is that you got to send out to. I like to think that, this is a place for critical thought. That's why I look down on my comment sections and I see the comments are like paragraphs long. It's because there's so many smart people that like to watch my channel and put this up on the screen in front of your groups, right? And just have a conversation about this. I think that it's time now to take a hold of the brand of what this is and to continue to push it in a direction for what it was originally meant for. And that was to be better, to be your best. # progress over perfection. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. Unpacking and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.